Okay, welcome to steps 6, 7, and 8 of the short sale process in this elective class. Number 6 of the short sale process is an extremely important step. This step is called follow up to make sure your package is received. You're going to have to be 100% persistent in this step because many short sale packages fall through the cracks. Okay, it's really important. You got to understand that so many of these foreclosing lenders are very overwhelmed with short sales. Like I said earlier, some mitigators in and of itself are getting 200 to 1,000 new properties in their system and on their desk per month. And that's just one mitigator. So you're talking about lenders getting thousands and thousands and thousands of new short sale packages per day. So guys and gals, make sure you keep that in mind. All right, once you pick up the phone and you call to follow up to make sure your short sale package is received, okay, you have to ask a list of questions. One of them is you have to know how long it will take before it is assigned to a loss mitigator. And again, keep a log of notes because you're going to want to profile every single lender that you do business with. It helps you set expectations with your clients and also with your real estate agents or investors that you're doing work with and or for. Second question is, when should you follow up and whether you should call the same phone number or a different number? You'll notice that I'm being repetitive on this step and on some of the other steps, but this is extremely important. Okay. Another question to ask. If the loss mitigator has a phone number in which to reach them directly, either phone or fax, and if they have an email. Guys and gals, always try to get their email addresses. That is my favorite way of having to get a hold of them. A lot of these loss mitigators that you're going to be talking to, or actually that you do call, their voicemails are going to be all filled up. Okay? And a lot of them do like contacting you back and forth via email. You'll get a quicker response. Okay. Now, once a short sale package is with a loss mitigator, you will all see some common objection, and you'll face some of the same common objections. Okay, one of them is, I'm not going to order a BPO or appraisal because the offer is too low. Now, the first thing you're going to do, okay, and the response you guys should have, is say, listen, this is where you have to have all of your listing history, log of showings, all of that needs to be in front of you, and the story on the property. Because every property that we negotiate and that you guys negotiate has a story. Okay, if a loss mitigator is going to use this objection to me, I'm not going to order a BPO or appraisal because the offer is too low. I'm going to say, well, I'll tell you what, your investor is going to be very unhappy with your performance. Reason being is the property is not worth what you think it's worth. Okay, maybe it was worth that much when they refinanced the house, but guess what? We're in a different era. Okay, different day and time right now. As you can see by the list history, it got dropped on this day, got dropped on this day, got dropped on this day, and we finally got an offer at this price. Not to mention there's only been one showing in the last X amount of days. Here's the log of showings, blah, blah, blah. But that would be my rebuttal to their objection. And it works probably about 99% of the time they will have someone go in there to do a BPO or an appraisal. Next objection, the offer is too low when compared to a BPO that came in too high. Now you guys will get this objection because a lot of these BPO agents are also REO agents and they're trying to buy the listing. So my response to that objection would be the same exact thing. Okay, go along the lines of with a little twist. First, I would say, as you guys probably know, your BPO agent is also an REO agent, and they're probably trying to get the listing. You do know that, right? And I'll have them agree with me. I'll say, listen, as you can see by our list history, our log of showings, our buyer's feedback, you guys know this is an absolute bogus BPO. I'm telling you, the investor who owns this money is going to be very, very unhappy with your valuation on this property. So I'm telling you, okay, that you guys need to get someone back out here to value this property. Okay, they will order another BPO. Okay, this happens to us all the time. I mean, we're working on about 100 to 150 properties every single month, and this happens to us very often. And those are the rebuttals that we give them and the responses to the objections, and they work very, very good. More common objections. The offer is too low. This is when we're dealing with an overinflated appraisal. Again, that was just worded a little differently, but appraisal is different than a BPO. What I would do is have them send out a BPO agent. And my response to this one would be, listen, our real estate agent, here's the feedback from our real estate agent. And I'm going to have the real estate agent write up a letter to state exactly what's going on in the area. Because in my opinion, if you have a good real estate agent in the area and they know that area very well, they're going to have a better valuation than any appraiser. Challenge with appraisals right now is that appraisers are going off of what has sold. Okay, what has sold yesterday. Today's a little different. They're going off of what has sold today. So what I'll do is I'll have our real estate agent write up a letter of exactly what's going on in that area at that time. Okay, that's extremely important. Here's another one you'll get. If you want another value, you have to pay for it. Okay, this is a funny one. I always laugh at them. I say in my rebuttal of this one, I say, okay, if we have the buyer pay for an appraisal, will you accept the offer? And obviously, you're going to get so many different answers here, but you guys have to keep pushing. I don't recommend ever having the buyer pay for another appraisal. That's just me, especially on a retail short sale where you're getting retail value for the property. There's so many properties on the market today that the buyer could go to another house, and that's one thing I would definitely tell the loss mitigator when dealing with that objection. Okay, how much time does step 6 take? That takes about 10 minutes of your time, very quickly. Now let's go on to step 7. Step 7 in the short sale process is just talking to the loss mitigator to set up the BPO or appraisal. Okay. One note I did put here is to make sure you are the contact person for the BPO or appraisal. Okay. That step right there takes you about 10 minutes. Sometimes it only takes 2 minutes, but I just put 10 minutes in there to give us a benefit of the doubt here, especially if you're dealing with 2 mortgages. Okay, now let's go to step 8. Step 8 in the short sale process. That's actually us calling the real estate agent and prep them to meet the BPO agent or appraisal. Okay, or appraiser. We have to prep them to make sure that they are on their game and let them know what they need to bring. Okay, when we call the real estate agent in our office and we set them up to be the person to let the appraiser or BPO agent in, okay, we have to make sure they coordinate the time of the BPO for the real estate agent, okay, or with the person doing the BPO. We also have to remind them what they need to bring to the BPO or appraisal. Okay, we have them bring, just so you guys know, we have them bring all of the offers that were submitted on the property. Okay, with the offer that is pending right now, we have them bring listing history and log of showings. That will pretty much state what today's fair market value is on the property. And my final note here is we have the real estate agent meet the BPO agent or appraiser at the property at the appointed time. Make sure your agent meeting them out at the BPO is on time. Okay? Extremely important. That's step 8. And the final note on this one is once a BPO appraisal is complete, you'll need to wait for it to get back to the loss mitigator and for them to evaluate the offer against the BPO. Then your negotiations start. Guys, in many cases, the BPO appraisal first goes to an internal department at the lender, and then they will look it over and make some small adjustments before they send it to the loss mitigator. So no, there's typically an internal department that looks at these appraisals or BPOs before that even gets back to them. Okay, that's step 6, 7, and 8. And step 8 takes probably a total of 15 minutes. Okay, now we'll see you guys on step 9.